What I bought? A new Blink Mini 2K Plus smart security camera. What I got? 2K clarity sharp enough to see every detail of home when I'm away. Plus audio like I'm in the room, not with my bestie traveling to another city. Plus easy plug-in setup to install faster than skipping through podcast ads. But you'd never skip ads, right? Plus, I got all of this for just $49.99. Blink Mini 2K Plus. Mini camera, max performance. Shop now at Amazon.com/Blink.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. Having a fun time on a Saturday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be with you. It's the highlight of my week, and I hope you enjoy the show as well. I try to bring on as interesting guests as we can possibly find, and also back from by popular demand is Biju Kuluthakal, who is one of the most interesting people I know. He is a serial entrepreneur and has started many very successful companies, including Redbox, which, you know, you may recall from the video days. You could go and when you were getting your McDonald's hamburger, you were going to the 7-Eleven, you could get a video. That was back in the days of DVRs. And Biju has started many successful companies, but the reason I wanted to bring him back was to talk about the future of technology, with respect to robotics, AI, the amazing things that are coming our way. And Biju is the CEO of a new company that I am an investor in and a partner in, small partner in, called Lightspeed. And tell Biju what Lightspeed is and how it's going to change the world.
Yeah, thanks so much, Steve, and great to be back on your show. Excited to talk about this. So, you know, I think we're in an interesting time in America. I think we've got some great opportunities, but we're also in the very early innings of this great revolution in AI. I think there are a lot of people who are consumers of ChatGPT and Claude and all these other AI tools, which, you know, they play with in the virtual world, which is, you know, they use it to write essays, write emails, analyze long documents and all of that. And that's great. And I think that's just the beginning of that play. But Lightspeed is in the world of what I call physical AI, where AI affects the physical world. And that is basically using AI models to do physical labor. And I think basically Lightspeed is a robotics and AI company. We're based out of Chicago, and we basically automate parts of building a home. Our idea is to dramatically reduce the time it takes to build a home, increase the quality in building a home, but also reduce the cost. These are three of the major things that we're working on. And the last thing I'll say to that too is that it's much safer to build a home using automation and robotics. So we're just in this we're just in this phase where we're kind of making dramatic changes to that and solving what I call like the housing crisis in America.
I just want to I'm talking to Biju, who is the founder of Lightspeed, which is an amazing company, builds houses with robots, which is an amazing technology. Wanted to just alert you all that in about 10 minutes, I will be taking your calls in the last few minutes of the More Money Show. So if you want to weigh in with your opinion on any of the topics we've talked about in these last couple hours, please call in 1-800-848-9222, 1-800-848-WABC, 1-800-848-9222. I'd love to hear your opinion of these things. So, Biju, this is really exciting stuff, what you're talking about. I've seen the videos. I've been in your factory there where you have the robots making these, structures for the homes, and it is going to reduce the cost of building a new home. It's going to build them faster. And it's just an amazing thing to see. And you're the first one out there with this technology. So how soon do you think you'll be able to be building houses?
Yeah, so we've built a few, but we're in the very early sort of pilot stages of this. So we're rolling out our technology in some of the sort of larger pilots, and so we're just trying to get more data points on making this work. But I think by the end of next year, you're going to start seeing changes in the market where we'll be building to the hundreds and thousands of these homes. And effectively use that data to improve the product, reduce the price, and have a bigger outreach in the market. I mean, at the end of the day, right, we are I think short about 6 or 7 million homes in this country. It dramatically affects affordability, attainability. So our goal is if we can get to enough homes that we build out there where we can kind of create a tipping point in the market where this automation becomes more widespread in the market. I think that's how we'll solve the affordability crisis in America for homes.
I couldn't agree more. There's a housing shortage right now, but if the robots can build the houses and they can build them faster and cheaper, it will make new homes for young people. Like I have 3 young sons that are, just in that stage of their life where they're looking at buying a house. And right now, they're doing well. They're doing well in terms of their careers, but they cannot afford to buy a house.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore on the Red Apple Podcast Network. If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy. Download and subscribe at BeBullish.com.
Hey business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 125,000 bonus miles for a limited time through October 29th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends October 29th, 2025.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku. And it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
The More Money Show with Steve Moore. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Absolutely right. It's basically it used to be a house went from costing $50,000 in the 1950s to about $400,000 now, right? And that's become very unaffordable for the average American. And the only way we always solve problems in America is by using technology to improve productivity in how these things are done. That's why we have I think cheaper food compared to 100 years ago. And we have a lot of other, even the phone I'm calling you on is a combination of probably 10 different machines that were available, that were expensive for the average person to buy 30 years ago, but they're affordable now because because of productivity, because of advances in technology. They're available in one device. And I think the same, it's going to happen with housing. And the big unlock for us, Steve, was really AI. AI is basically allowing us to do these things in the physical world. This all seems like science fiction, but, with these advances in AI and robotics, we'll effectively see science fiction become science fact.
So
that's exciting.
When I was a kid, I used to watch the cartoon, The Jetsons. I don't know if you're familiar with that cartoon, because I know you grew up in India. But, that's a very futuristic cartoon. And, people would get in their flying cars and go all over the place and so on. And you and I had a discussion a few weeks ago about this whole issue of flying cars. And you were saying you thought this will come, that flying cars are coming. When do you think we'll start to see that, huge advance in technology?
No, I mean, again, these things are here. They're here. They're flying. They're operating. The only thing we haven't, the technology's there. It's just a matter of regulation. We're just waiting for regulation, some data points to catch up. So there's a public company called Archer. There's another company called Joby. There are probably like 30 or 40 flying car companies. They call it eVTOL, which is electrical vertical takeoff and landing.
Are they like flying helicopters? What are they?
Yeah, they're effectively you could say they're like a little helicopter, but instead of having one blade to lift you up, most of these are designed from the electric standpoint of having like 5, 6, 8, 10 different little rotors to take you up and down.
Yeah. So in other words, hold on just a sec, so people understand. Yeah. So in other words, you don't need a runway for these. They would just elevate you, and then you're off in the air. Is that how they work?
That's exactly right. You can basically vertically take off and land. So you don't need the runway. You have a lot more places you can take off and land from.
Right.
And so that makes it much more accessible. But the technology is here. It's just in the early days, but it's going to catch on. I think it's going to, at a certain point, this is how we will basically, go from the city to the airport, or from one city to another city 100 miles away. This is how we're going to do it.
And, obviously I was talking, when last time you and I were on, you're already seeing a lot of cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco, the Ubers and the Lyfts that pick you up are now automated where there's no driver. You're seeing now on some of the highways automated trucks where there's no driver. They're just, all being basically driven by artificial intelligence. This revolution, it seems to me, is coming a lot faster than Americans are prepared for.
That's right. I think with every revolution and change, right, there's always going to be short-term pain and long-term gains, right? So
right.
The short-term pain and change in anything is there is always pain around change, and it's hard for people. It's hard for the average person. It's important to be empathetic towards that. It's important to understand that, and it's important to see how we can address those changes, right? And we've gone through. But the good thing is we've gone through many changes as America like that. We went through a country where 100 years ago, 30% of this country worked on a farm. About 70 years ago, 30% of this country worked in a factory. And those numbers are all completely different right now. But at the end of the day, on the long term, the fact that we don't have 30% of the country working on a farm is a net benefit to us as Americans. And the fact that we don't actually have to do all the minute physical things to build things in factories. Like, we're going to bring manufacturing back to America. We're going to build, we're going to have a revolution in home building in America, all because of this automation. And I think at the end of the day, we should look at, is this benefiting us in the long term? And for me, I'm just a future optimist. I think it always is.
So one last question on the way out. We literally have 60 seconds left, Biju, and he is the founder of Lightspeed. If you want to find out more about it, people can go to your website, right?
Right. They can come to our website, lightspeed.build, or, they could find us on LinkedIn, which is the social network website we're on most actively.
My last question for you in our last 45 seconds. What is your advice to young people then, maybe going into college or coming out of college in terms of, the workforce and the work demands are going to change so dramatically. How do young people get ready for that?
Yeah, I think the best way to do that as a young, if I were 22, which I'm not, but if I was 22, I would embrace the AI as a tool. Like it's AI, these AI and robotics, they're not things that they will itself not replace you, but somebody else using it as a tool will replace you if you can't compete with that person using AI. So use it as a tool. It is the tool to help you succeed. It is not, it's not something you should be afraid of.
I completely agree with that, and we better be ready for this. By the way, it's wealth enhancing. It will make Americans much, much wealthier over the next 20 and 50 years. Biju, thanks so much for joining. Folks, when we get back, we will be taking your calls in our last 15 minutes of the show. I want to hear what you have to say about all this stuff, whether it's the AI revolution, whether it's a gambling crisis. That number for our More Money hotline, one last time, 1-800-848-9222. I'm told there are two lines open right now, 1-800-848-9222. Call in and let me know what you think about any of these ideas. This is the More Money Show, and we will be right back.
Thanks for listening to More Money with Steve Moore. You can hear More Money with Steve Moore Saturday afternoons at 1. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
If you're looking to create, grow, and sustain your wealth, download and subscribe to the Pain Points of Wealth podcast at BeBullish.com with Bob, Ryan, and Chris Payne. It's your podcast for market insights, money tips, and real talk on the economy.
Download and subscribe
at BeBullish.com.